All right, we are live. Let me make sure everything is good before we start talking. I think we good. Yep, you good. You want to lead this one?
Oh no.
Because it ain't much to talk about. It really, I was. How'd you feel about the final? Because I was very. I wouldn't say disappointed per se, but I was expecting more from the final challenge.
I was I was excited.
You was excited going into the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and then how'd you feel after the challenge?
Wait, you talk about like
The
top
final,
three or top two?
top two.
I was excited the whole way through.
You,
But we can talk about why.
yeah,
we
we'll
can
talk
talk
about
about why later.
we'll talk about why. All right, so let's jump on into it because we really didn't have that much to really talk about for the episode itself.
You gonna say hi to everybody? He said, all right, let's get through this because I got things to do, people to see.
Oh yeah, okay. As y'all see, we're here for the finals. Squid Game, season one, episode 10, the final. We
Oh
got
my
my player 280. What was the number? 287.
god. Hold on.
Sam, I know he's 16. And Phil is 451, right?
You know what?
I ain't even right.
I gotta go back to my old notes to look at all that.
You
Mine is 287.
and then I know Sam is 16 and Phil got to be like 451 or 415, one of the two. Yeah.
Phil 451, yeah.
So yeah, we're down to the final three. This is it. Like the money is right here, and it's quite interesting to see how they get to it. But we're gonna start. Like I said, thumbs up the video. Well, I don't think I said it, but I'm gonna say it now. Thumbs up the video.
I was like, he just got right into it.
Drop in the chat if you are here. We got two in here now. Drop in the chat. Let us know what y'all thought about the finale. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna do that, and then Movie Bae, I'm gonna let her take over on the behind the scenes because
Oh
she
yeah.
got more tea on that than I do. And yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and then final thoughts. Gianna, what's up?
What's up, boo?
We in here. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so we get to episode 10. Everybody's getting prepared for the last game. They're pretty much sizing each other up throughout the dorm, and you can tell like they're asking each other questions. They're trying to get to know each other, which is funny too. I thought that was funny because I'm like, at this point, I feel like they should have already known each other. But then again, I'm like, it's been so many people in that house, they
Yeah.
probably didn't have too much of a chance to really do it.
So many people had their own cliques and groups that they hung around.
Mhm.
So yeah. But I knew because it was top three, I knew that this episode was going to consist of a lot of talking, a lot of confessionals, a lot of
Mhm.
backstory. So that I was not excited for.
And that's what I was wondering too. I was like, how are we going to keep this entertaining? Because every single episode has been super entertaining. I'm like, how are they going to do this? But like you said, I mean, it's pretty much confessionals, but I'm going to graze through some of them. But the staff comes in and lets them know that they're going to have a dinner, a final dinner. And they bring them some outfits that they need to be wearing at the dinner. It's like some pinstripe suit, black, white, all that stuff. I like the suits though. I like the attire because it made it seem more important. But they go and they have their dinner,
Oh,
and
that's right. You didn't watch the show.
no,
Ah,
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, but I ain't finished it. I'm
no,
still trying to
that's
finish
what
it.
they did. The final three, they brought them in the tux. Oh, my
Uh
washing machine. I was like, what the hell is
oh.
that? They brought in tuxedos for a steak dinner.
Yeah.
So it was just like on the show, except for obviously in the series, everybody done been beat up and trying to, survive being murdered throughout the night. So it
Yeah.
was more intense, and it's like, oh, we get steak. What's the twist? So like when Phil 16, not Phil, Sam 16, when he made that joke about like shanking people, that's because on the show,
I
they
gotta
were
finish.
they
I
were
gotta.
hiding knives underneath the table just in case somebody tried to leap, was
I
feeling
gotta.
rowdy.
I gotta finish that because you making it sound like it's more entertaining. I couldn't watch it because it was too gory at first, and I'm like,
Oh Lord, not too gory.
we gonna get into
Oh
it. And it's
Lord.
funny because I love horror movies too. I love them. I love the horror movies that like get real graphic.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
All that
watch it.
stuff.
I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna try and finish it. But they go in there and they sit down, and like I said, there was a catch to it. It wasn't just eating dinner and just talking and shit. Like we knew something was gonna happen. So Maya is sitting there stating that she's and as she Maya, this is why I like Maya, and I would actually like to see her on, like I said, Traders. You need to watch Traders. If you have not already watched it, you need to watch it. But the way she sits and analyzes each person that she's around, I love watching a player play a game that way because I overanalyze things too. And if I'm sitting there watching somebody, like I say, me in general, when I first meet people, depending on the energy I get off of you, you might get who I really am straight off rip. If I can't read you, I'm in full observatory mode. I'm looking at you. I'm watching you for like 2 to 3 weeks. And that'll determine if I want to actually get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I like how Maya was doing that too. She low-key was sitting there and she was watching Sam. And she's like, Sam kind of gives out this cold vibe. She was like, she feels like he's putting on a facade, trying to force these like conversations. And she feels like it didn't feel genuine.
Mm-hmm. And that could also be, I know Phil and Sam, that I think that they were cool throughout the the experience, but neither one of them really had a relationship like that with Mai. So right. I mean, I understand trying to force conversation on multiple ends though. Like I understand her perspective. Like he ain't never did this before. He kind of the quiet type. So like where's it coming from? Yeah. But also in his defense, it's only 3 of us. We on a TV show. I gotta make TV.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really
could have been both ways.
Maya's playing the game. That's the thing, though. Maya's playing the game at all times. Yeah, them two, they probably were trying to get to know her because, like you said, they were probably more closer. They probably know more about each other than they do of her. Yeah, and that was his way of kind of getting her to crack down the walls and let him know.
Right, or feel like because Maya already knew that both of them were close. So before they got to the rules of the game. Oh, I forgot to put my Band-Aid on my missing nail. Lord Jesus, I'm looking ratchet. But before they got to the rules of that game, she knew that those two would choose each other before they chose her. So maybe that was Sam's way of trying to make her feel secure. Like, hey, you never know. If you have a good enough backstory, if you have a good enough reason for what you'll do with the money, I might choose you. So he was probably trying to just like make her feel
like she had a chance. Like she might have had a chance.
Yeah.
Gianna said Mai was much smarter than most of the players, and I'm not surprised that she came out on top. You done sported already. We gonna build to that. But
if they're watching this, hopefully they watched the show too.
Right.
Or they probably been on social media, so they already know.
They had to. And that's the thing. I can't stand when people get on social media and then be mad that somebody done spoiled the show. Me, I purposely waited to not check the hashtags. I was not opening my Twitter until I finished the episode. Because you can't get mad at somebody else for spoiling it when you decide to go on and look at the hashtag knowing there's a possibility somebody done said something about it.
Okay, yeah, because I'm kind of guilty with that. I was doing that with something. Oh, it's this new movie on Netflix. My sister sent me the trailer. She was like, watch this. And then they put a clip on Instagram, and I went through the comments, and then they were kind of starting to get spoily. So I was like, no. And I edited out just in case. But when it comes to, I was about to say something about being spoiled. Oh, that's why I wanted us to do the reviews on a Sunday, because if it come out on Wednesday, hopefully, throughout the week, people busy. So hopefully by Friday or Saturday, they have a chance to watch it. And boom, Sunday is a good day to review a show without spoiling it. Hopefully.
Yep. half the week done gone. The episode been out for half a week at this point.
Yeah.
But
you good, Anna, girl, you good.
You good. No, she said, well, my
bad. Yeah, you good.
You good. But so yeah, he was talking to Sam was talking about how he's kind of elaborating more on his story with his mom about him coming out and stuff, saying that he hadn't talked to her since coming out. And I was like, damn, this shit right here was sad. Like his whole like backstory about, and the way he's dealing with it, I don't know if he's been a lot more emotional about it, but just the way he's seemingly like, I don't want to say nonchalant, because you can tell it still means something to him that she's not in his life, but he was saying how she was writing him nasty emails and stuff. He ended up blocking her email, and then she ended up writing letters.
And then she hand wrote letters. I'm like, oh, this bitch want to get her point across. Okay, she's trying to be heard.
Yeah, I was like, that's some grimy ass shit. Like, it's like at this point now you're trying to hurt him. I'm like,
who are you, Aaliyah? 4-page letters, girl. Get over it.
But they were still talking about each other's upbringings and stuff. As they're doing that, the controller comes in. Well, he comes on the intercom and lets them know now that only two players will proceed to the final game after this game occurs in the middle of the dinner. So in front of the three are three buttons. One was a triangle, one was a circle, and one was a square. So the rules were when one person pushes one of each button. So one will turn green. The person that pushes that one will then get the chance to choose a player to go with them to the finals. The next option is one will turn gray. If you press that one, there's no consequence for the person that pressed it.
Mm-hmm.
One that you don't want to press is the red button, and that's the third one. If you press that, you are automatically eliminated, and you're done.
Right.
Before we start talking about how it went down, the way they were set up, did you have a strategy in terms of what you would? Okay, what would you have done?
Okay, so like, look, I can't remember verbatim. So which color was which? I know square was red. You said, because I was right. I just got to remember what color was what.
Square was red, green was gray, and then the circle was green. So the one on the left was green, the middle was gray, and then the one on the right was red.
So the one on the left
was the one that you wanted to pick, the green, so you can choose.
Right. I said, like, I was watching my friend, and I was like, it's triangle? Yeah, I was like, it's triangle, hit triangle. And he was like, it's square. Right. I was like, your ass will be going home. Because I was like, if you put it, well, it could have been circle too. If you hit the one in the middle, I feel like that's too obvious, but it might be so obvious that they would like make that the button. But I just knew for a fact, I'm like, I'm not doing the last one. Because that's too much thinking. You would do last because you would think it would be first. That's too much thinking.
Exactly.
Don't do that one.
My strategy, I would have went straight for the middle one. And the reason I would have went for the middle one, I don't know what it is with me. If there's like three things, I always go for the middle one. Mm-hmm. I don't go for the two on the outside. I feel like what you just said, that's the trick. I feel like they're gonna expect you to press the one in the middle, that they're not gonna put what you don't want to press in the middle. So I would always go for the middle. So right. I'd have been great, and I'd have been waiting for somebody to possibly take me, but I would have been automatically eliminated.
Right. It's definitely a psychology behind it.
Yeah.
But if you think too hard, might be going home.
Okay. But so, and then what else? I think I missed something. Where am I at? Okay. So then they have to decide who's the first person to go up and press a button.
Right.
So the two that I knew were going to be the two debating were Phil and Sam. They was trying to debate on who should go. And of course, Maya was like, I'm not leaving it up to them two, because I know if one of them presses that green button, they're going to choose each other and I'm gone. So at this point, I'm putting my own fate in my own hands is where she's at. And I would have been the same way.
Exactly. That was smart. She was like, I'm going to go first, just like you said, because if they go and they hit the green button, I know for a fact I'm already out. But if I go right now, I could possibly hit that green button and I'll be the one deciding.
Exactly. So that's what she did. She volunteered first. She knew it was a risk, but she wanted to control her own destiny. So she goes up and she pushes the middle button, which is the triangle. And I like how it was super suspenseful. I thought as soon as she pressed it, I thought it was going to show what it was, but they kind of had
they let it flash. I was like, what is that? What is that?
I want to know how long it actually took them to actually reveal it. Because, they've been trying to, at least from what I've been seeing, is that as quick as it looks on camera, it's not how quick it actually went.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long it took them, but hers was gray. So Maya's fine. Like, she's not eliminated, but she still has to wait to see who's going to choose her if they get the opportunity to do it.
How did you feel about her getting gray? What? They put College Hill Celebrity Edition on Netflix? Okay, go ahead.
Is it on Netflix?
I was looking at the backdrop. Like, huh?
It's on. I want to say something. I know it's on BET on TV.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I swear it's on another network. But this is where I was thinking too. I'm like, I felt like I was questioning. I'm like, do I feel like production is manipulating who presses? Because I feel like, you got to have Maya in the finals. And her luck, I don't want to say it's luck, because she is smart. She's a smart player. So I feel like a lot of the things that she's been trying to do was very calculated. And she said she was making calculated moves. And we'll talk about that later on in the final challenge. But I'm like, is it manipulated? I feel like, was it really her pressing that button and it genuinely coming to what it was? Or was the production? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
That's the thing with game shows. It's like you never know, because sometimes producers overproduce.
Mhm.
But to be honest, I feel like that usually doesn't happen, meaning producers overproducing. That usually doesn't happen until like season 2, 3.
Yeah.
Usually season 1 of a show, it is kind of like real authentic. It's our guinea pig,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I hope they didn't rig it, but also I don't know. I hope they didn't rig it. I hope they didn't.
I don't know because I don't
Because
watch.
if you would have gotten her out, I feel like it still would have been satisfying to some of the viewers. Because looking on social media, some people saying Mai didn't deserve to win. How did she not? But we'll get into that later. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it still would have been satisfying for some of the viewers if she had gone home and then their faves, Phil and Sam, went through to the final 2. Best friend battling best friend. Like, I feel like they had a storyline regardless, so you didn't need to overproduce that part.
And then that's why I'm thinking it could have possibly been manipulated. Because granted, the two of them in the end, that's kind of boring. They weren't like super players. In my opinion, they weren't super players. Maya is a super player that you got to have in the finals, and she's essentially the villain of the show. The other two are not considered villains, so you got to have like the good guy versus the bad guy and see who's going to win in the final 2. That's where my thought process was, which is why I was toggling with I think if you might have manipulated it or not.
But Sam could have also been considered a dark horse because he's one of who you just seen around the dorm because of his beard.
Yeah,
but he didn't get any talking points until Ashley, I believe.
Yeah,
I think she was cool with him.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I feel like they had a storyline either way though, because like both of the friends battling each other, you know, heartbroken, type shit. Or you can have Mai, who is the villain of the show, who's been, you know, very analytical, strategic the whole way through. And then coming down to a game of chance. I mean, both were actually a game of chance.
Yeah,
kinda. But you know, I don't know. I just hope they did it, because that's when shows aren't fun anymore.
Exactly. Well, so Mai goes and sits down. She's down, and Phil and Sam, they're now debating on which one of them two is going to go and press it next, because they know at this point it's a 50-50 chance of one person going home or the other person choosing essentially each other's fate. So they're trying to debate on what's going on and who's going to go. And Sam ends up deciding that he wanted to go up. So he goes up and pushes the square on the right. And of course, that turns red and he is out of there.
Oh!
Immediately. They was like walking him out, just like, let's go. You got to go.
Oh! So, Phil felt so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know either, because he's like, I feel like a coward. And I'm like, for what?
Right. Because you had gone and picked the other. Oh, and no, I see what he's saying.
Maybe he felt like a coward because he let Sam go up there, but I'm like, you still playing the game at the end of the day. Like, if you want to go up there and do it, then you let him go up there and do it and take a chance. So it is what it is.
Because at the end of the day, he made his own choice, and his choice was to go. It wasn't I'm gonna go since he won't go. We could have been sitting there for hours compromising on who's gonna go next.
Right.
Leave it up to me. But I probably would have been like mine. I probably would have just wanted to get over with.
I would have went. But Phil saying sorry as he's walking out. Mai saying sorry. Phil looked like he was sad. Mai, honestly, she looked unmoved.
Okay. Like, I'm going to the vein.
But they both get up and they start hugging each other because they realize, look, it's one of us too. One of us is about to be
so crazy.
$4.56 million richer.
Out of 456 people, though, like,
you know why I'm looking like this, right?
Crazy.
You know why I'm looking like that?
Why are you doing it?
So one of us is about to be $4.56 million richer. You know, they filmed this back in February, and the winner has not had her money yet.
But you know, let's jump into it now. What happens is with competition reality shows, every show is different. But like even Big Brother, because I've heard this about Big Brother too, but some competition reality shows, they wait until the whole series has aired and it's done with. Then you get the money. And that could be because of like no spoilers. Because if Mai all of a sudden quitting her job and traveling and doing all this, everybody gonna be like, now wait a minute.
But people was already thinking too, because she when they had like the rap party last week, or at least for one of the episodes, and you could see she got a whole different hairstyle, and people online was like, she looked like she got some money. All along she ain't even money yet.
Like some money, but all she did was cut her hair and dye it a little bit.
I know. I'm like, really? That's what y'all think? But, so what happened? So yeah, they're hugging each other, knowing that it's one of the two of them. The announcer lets them know that they've reached the final game. The pot is now at $4,540,000. And they walk around looking at the money because the money's dropping. They're pretty much visualizing it. They can see the money right here, realizing this is how much it's possibly going to be mine. So, and I wrote the irony because when I was watching it, I'm like, they don't even have it yet, even right now. But we get to the final day. They wake up. Staff comes in there and lets them know that the final game will begin, and they are to follow the staff. They proceed to the game hall. They get in there and find out that they are playing rock, paper, scissors. When you heard that, what was your thought process? Because me, in general, rock, paper, scissors, I wouldn't even say I'm bad at it or good at it because I feel like every time I play, it's either 50-50 for me. What was your thoughts?
So when I was watching it and, they were like talking or whatever, I was like, bro, it would be so wild if the final game is rock, paper, scissors. So then when they walked into the room and they had the Squid Games game like drawn on the ground, but it was a safe at the end. And I was like, you need both circles. So I'm like, they not playing Squid Games. So when the announcer came on and said you'll be playing rock, paper, scissors, I said, get the fuck out of here. I was like, I knew it. I was like, that is so wild that I caught that. Because if you think about it, you playing rock, paper, scissors for $4 million. Just playing rock, paper, scissors. Like, really though? Like, really? But so I was excited that I was right. I could be a game maker. Sign me up for the Hunger Games at this point. But I was just like, that's dope. It's comical. It's kind of insulting, but
yeah, that's why I was like, they couldn't have done something more. I don't know. I thought when it happened and I saw that's what's going to determine who wins. I'm like, damn, like you get all this way and it's by chance. I wanted something more skill based.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Because,
well, we're gonna get to that.
It's both. It's both skill and chance because rock, paper, scissors is a strategic game. Like it really is. I play rock, paper, scissors at least
we're gonna get into
3 times a week. Okay.
I was sitting there thinking it too. I'm like, how is it strategic? Because we'll get to it, but
I can't tell you my secrets, but you got mine broke it down to I guess like statistics. Yeah. I really think of it like if I could read a person's mind, just anticipate what they're going to do next. And sometimes it is based on if it's somebody what they're going to do next. I play rock, paper, scissors a lot. That's how I settle a lot of disputes. Yeah. That's why, like, even in the game, like in the series, I was like, why hasn't nobody done rock, paper, scissors yet? Like when they were running to the shapes, like for Dalgona, I was like, bro, rock, paper, scissors. We gonna go around the world and play rock, paper, scissors, and then whoever wins, you get to choose, so on and so forth. But that's why I was happy that it popped back up. But they put the chance element in the game because the winner of that round, they get to go select a key out of a lot of keys of a box. And go to test to see if that key fits and unlocks the safe that has their money or their debit card in it. I was like, so 2023.
And that's still by chance though, because it's not.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's a little bit of strategy if you play rock, paper, scissors. It's a little bit of strategy. And then the chance is like, am I going to choose the right key? Because my homeboy, I was watching it with, he was like, imagine if you lose back to back, say if you lose 5 rounds and then you won 1 round and you picked the right key. It's like, that's all that matters.
That would be, I'd be high. I would be so mad. But we get into it. And round 1, already lets us know straight out the gate. She already thinking about strategy. She says when she plays normally, she knows that the adult males end up leading with rock and scissors as a signifying symbol of power.
Right.
And I was sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, really? Because I do low-key go with rock. So I'm like, she might be on to something. But then again, I like to throw paper too, because I always feel like
to mix it up a little bit.
Right. And I feel like with me, for some reason, I always feel like when I'm playing with somebody and I throw rock out, they always either go out with rock or with papers next.
Mm.
But I see where she was coming from with that, which I found interesting because Phil, we later on find out he was doing random shit, just throwing it out randomly. That's what he said he was doing. So I'm like, that's interesting. He's trying to guess what his next move is, and he just doing it by
But
chance.
he getting his ass ate up. He
It
getting his
literally
ass
was.
ate up. That's what happened when you go into rock, paper, scissors with no strategy. If you just throwing, it's like, bro.
You got to start thinking because she
You
always
do.
thinking. That girl, that
And
woman was playing a game.
according to like other players, everybody knew that Mai was a strategic, smart. No, that was even on the show. She's wise. So why would you just go out throwing anything? Why would you do that?
That's a good one. But they start going. Mai ended up winning the first round. Phil won the second round. So they go through numerous rounds repeatedly. Keys are not working. Nothing's opening. They keep going and going and going.
Right. Keep in mind, Phil getting his ass whooped most of the time. Mai has the biggest chance because she's winning and going to try key after key after key after key. He went a couple times sprinkled in there, but not a lot.
Exactly. But after numerous rounds, Mai ends up winning. Like I said, like what Movie Bae just said, she won a lot. Phil ends up winning a random round, and the suspense happened on this one particular round that he won.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, what if
I know. The music changed, the mood changed. He's speaking all positive affirmations. I said, oh my God, he about to win. And I was like, or maybe that's what they want me to think.
Exactly, because in that moment, for that one scene, I paused the TV to see how much longer the episode was.
Oh, cheater.
I'm like, surely they're not going to let him win right now.
Boo, cheater.
But we'll get later on because because he ended up not getting it, but the next round, Mai ended up winning, goes in there, turns the key, opens up, and there's her card.
Because I was Team Mai, so I didn't want him to win, especially because he had been losing so much, and I'm like, damn, bro.
And at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted her to own her game a little bit more during the game. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I want the person that played from start to finish and played a riskier game to win. I want the person who actually really put forth the effort, had to maneuver, had to find ways, because she had to maneuver a couple times.
Right.
Like, she was lying in people's faces. She was backing people up, but then doing things that she wanted to do, which was going to eventually get her to the end, which I respected. But she played a more risky game than Phil did, in my opinion. So I feel like she was a better winner.
I watched hey Tyshawn, I watched an interview when all three of the finalists were on. I believe Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know all these white people, but Saturday Night Live, and she said that, well, it was a variety of things. So Sam watched the show. Phil didn't watch the show until he was casted.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I bet you can. And then she was like, I watched the show, but then I started studying the show. And so she said, I wanted to go into the series with the mindset of the characters. So she went in, like, I don't think that's who she is, which is probably why you saw that disconnect, like, own it, because it's probably not who she really is, but she knew that I got to get into this mindset in order to play this game.
Yeah, I would have owned it, though. I'd have owned it, though. I know, Tyshawn said I'm sorry, she was smart, but someone else should have won.
Okay, Tyshawn, who do you think?
Who do you think? I know who I wanted to win, but like I say, after everybody starts getting eliminated, I look at who's left, and out of everybody that was left, Mai was playing the strongest game. So
I came in late because I was like, it's some people online saying Mai didn't deserve to win. You one of those people, huh? You one of those people?
But this is where, too, I was like, what else is about to happen? Because after she won, we still had like 5 minutes left.
I know you did, clicker.
And they start showing a montage of everybody living their life after the games to promote season 2.
Did you take note? Because my friend boy, he was like, everybody look like they living nice and stuff. What, they rent out Airbnbs and they don't need this money?
No, I did. Well, I noticed
some nice kitchens, boats and shit.
Yeah, they was having a ball. Like, everybody was living their life and looking like they was doing good. But that's the thing too. We didn't. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, we didn't have too many like I'm poor type stories. Like, we had Phil was talking about he lives paycheck to paycheck, but we didn't have too many. Right.
Don't we all?
Right. But yeah, that was it. Season 2 is coming. But I found it, I like the thought that, and that's the thing too with Netflix. I feel like a lot of Netflix shows, they film the show like a year in advance and then they finally run it out. But that's when we find out that, well, that's not when we found out, but we find out later on through interviews and stuff that they filmed the show back in February and Mai still ain't got her money yet. So apparently she's still gonna get her money soon. But I saw something that they said it's in the contract that after 12 months, that's when she gets paid.
Right.
So if it wasn't a contract and she signed that contract, I don't want to hear nobody.
Exactly. Like you wait till January, and then you by January 31st, ain't it 31 days in January? By February 1, I'll be like, hello. Is it gonna take 3 to 5 business days? Like, what's
it needs to clear. I need no holds on my money because you know banks will do that. Like when it comes to like you get certain funds that are not of your normal amount, a bank will put a hold on that bitch. But yeah, I'm gonna be like, you need to make sure that my money clears and is available. 432. I wanted him to win too, but
I know Tyshawn. But when you look back at it, first off, okay, so remember, Grant, you said that they started filming late January, February, and it took almost a year to air. That's because they take their time editing, unlike Zeus. But they took their time editing, unlike Zeus. But with 432, now that if you look back at it, he definitely carried like the first 5 episodes,
sure.
3 episodes.
For sure.
But he had too much of a story built around him at the very beginning. So now when I break it down, you know, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, nah, it wasn't gonna be him. It never was gonna be him because of how it was never gonna be him because of how they were editing him. From the very beginning,
like,
nah.
Well, you've watched the whole show though. You watched the previous show. I haven't watched it because I'm still thinking like in that aspect, they could still be kind of like giving us more backstory with him because he is going to be there later on.
Nah.
After he was there so many episodes and the focal point was him, all those episodes.
Nah.
I'm like, he's either going to go home soon or he's going to be at the end.
Nah, I didn't think he was going to be at the end. I definitely thought that he was going to have like a big defeat though. Like I thought he was going to have like a big elimination, which to me it was kind of a big elimination because it was the only time where he didn't have reigns over, you know, what he was doing.
I hated it. What's up, Jadavian? I hated that game. The way he went out, I didn't know. I would have been pissed. Speaking of Zeus, how do y'all feel about eating that? Here we go, talking about baddies. How do y'all feel about E.T. telling Camila to drop the Addy? E.T. is a loser. That's what I feel about E.T. The way she been acting online, she looks crazy.
I really
just trying to stand on business. And I know that's your girl.
Not 432 so fine. That's why you wanted to win.
Jadavian. Yeah, I didn't see him getting this far.
Yeah, I knew that he was gonna have a big like defeat. That I feel like that's why they were building him up. I didn't think he was gonna be the winner at all. I knew that the winner was gonna come more so like in the latter half of the maybe like the second half of the show.
And you know what?
Whoever they would start building a story around that second half, that person was gonna be the winner for sure.
And now that you're saying that too, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, Mai was not really a focal point until like maybe episode 4. Because we got introduced to her. We seen her, but she wasn't like they didn't really introduce her until like episode 4, I want to say.
They were just like, oh, she's wise. That's Mai. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like the Gabu game. Like I feel like they weren't gonna win either, but I thought they were gonna definitely get further than they did, especially because they had so many people in that alliance. But building them up to have that major defeat, you know, that heart wrenching because we spent all this time with them for them to go home to get sent home by another player on top of that. So they did a good job editing. Like they really did.
I was about to ask you, I was like, what was your final thoughts on the season itself? I feel I agree. Like the editing was good, the games were good, the competitors, like everybody they chose, at least the ones that they focused on. They had some good characters on the show. You had a bunch of different personalities. You had people that wanted to play the game. And that's the thing. That's the most important thing. A lot of these reality shows nowadays go for the insta-famous ones, the ones that look good, the ones that are appealing to watch, but don't get on the show and don't want to play. They got a lot of people on here that are not necessarily looking to be Instagram famous or whatever. And they get They get players on here that's looking to play the game. Why are you looking like that?
Because remember I did the behind the scenes tea. So we
Let's
gonna
jump
share
into
some
it.
insight on that. Well,
Jump,
that's just according to some players. But my
jump
final
into it.
thoughts. Oh, were you finished with your final thoughts?
Yeah. See, Tyshawn agree with me. I felt like that last challenge was whack too. I didn't like the fact that it came down to rock, paper, scissors, and then like turning the key. I wanted something more skill based. Like, and it didn't even have to be like a physical skill based thing. It could have been just straight mental. Because Maya's smart, it would have made it easier for her. Phil is essentially smart too, but they could have did both where it was like physical and mental. But the whole like by chance rock, paper, scissors, then go grab a key and whichever key opens it, I was like, ugh.
Maybe I'm biased because rock, paper, scissors, I hold near to my heart. Maybe. They got a lot of good stuff coming on Netflix. Chicken Run too. Like, yes. Okay.
What's it called?
My final thoughts on the show, I loved it. I thought that it was edited so well, especially to be so many people there. I thought it was produced well. Like we mentioned in previous reviews, you know, how it was similar to the show, but not identical. You know, cousins, not sisters. So that definitely kept the contestants and the viewers on our toes. I think they did a really good job. And if you didn't know, now you know. They have been renewed for a season 2, and they are currently casting. So if you are interested, go to squidgamecasting.com and make your 60-second video.
I know that 1 minute part. You gotta really sit and think. You gotta really sit and think what you want to really bring up. Love the episode. Every episode was.
Every episode was definitely entertaining, and it wasn't too much talking, which I personally enjoy.
Yeah,
I don't like a lot of that talking. Get to know your backstory. I don't care. I don't care too much about that. Get to the game. If it's not related to strategic, I don't want to hear it. Oh, Jadavian. Jadavian. Your name is similar to my real name. I ain't gonna shoot. Are we twin? Are you my twin?
You ready to talk about this behind the scenes stuff?
Huh? Oh yeah, let's get to the behind the scenes.
It's your time to shine. Your time to shine. What's the tea that you got?
All right, so I added on just a little bit more than what I sent you, but oh shit, oops, I'm in the wrong notes. Okay. So I watched a couple of interviews, just a couple, because not everybody's interesting. A couple of interviews with the players, and some of the players have started YouTube channels. So I went, and watched a few videos and kind of and gathered some notes. So for some behind the scene tea that y'all probably already heard some of this, but let's get into it. Mm-hmm. So player 107. I can start with his. He has a YouTube channel. Y'all go subscribe. Maybe
107. Who's 107?
That's the one who finished first in red light, green light. He had the umbrella on Doggona, and he had the curly, like brown and blonde hair from the UK. Okay. So he's not the only person, but he is one of the people who have started their YouTube channel, and he's doing like kind of episodic, behind the scenes. But food. So we all knew that they were eating like little tins of food or whatever. They were only fed 3 times a day. No snacking in between. And those portions is what you see is what they ate. So in the morning, everybody after watching, they all said that it was porridge. Porridge in the morning. And if you don't know what porridge is, it's like a very bland matzo meal, cream of wheat, oatmeal. Yeah. But they said it was no sugar, no seasonings. So everybody hated breakfast. Lunch consisted of, a protein, a carb, and a veggie, but it wasn't a lot. And then same thing for dinner. So they were really giving them the amount of calories you need to survive a day. No more, no less. We're going to do the bare minimum when it comes to food. Do you think, and I'm going to ask you, after all of this, I'm going to ask you if you still want to audition, because I was looking like,
that food part, that right there, I was like, damn, because I'm a snacker. I snack all the time anyways.
I need me a snacky snack. I eat.
Yeah.
I'll
Like,
get full off a snack before a meal.
yeah,
I ain't
me too. I'm like the whole full meal stuff, like, and I sat and thought about it too. I'm like, I only really eat 2 solid meals a day, and that's one in the morning or sometimes at lunch, and then I eat a full like solid meal at dinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I snack throughout the day, and I'm sitting there thinking about it. I broke it down like hours throughout the day, how long I can really go without snacking.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hard.
Ashley and Belinda, they said that they left with abs. They lost so much
I was
weight.
gonna say because you're gonna lose some weight.
And I'm already itty bitty, baby. I need me some insurance this bitch a son so I can at least maintain.
Right. Give me like a protein. If you ain't gonna feed me like that, give me a protein shake, something that can fill me up.
I agree. Or the meal with the protein shake. But something that they did have an abundance of was water.
Oh, hell no. Nah. We need water. I love the water though. Water will fill you up though if you drink a good amount of it.
That's what I said. I guess water is my snack. I'm gonna be imagining that. Ooh, this is a bag of hot fries right now. Something. Not you drunk your water, but I said water.
Riley Polly need to be on this.
Who? Oh.
Because she needs to learn how to
for broke people, baby. That's what she gonna say.
Shit.
When it comes to the overreacting, so y'all, especially in our reviews, I know we be like, oh my God, stop crying, Brayton.
Yeah.
Like, stop crying. What y'all crying for? Y'all just met these people. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. Like, what's up with that? So all the characters, they said the players, they had a consensus that it was because that's all they had to do was talk to each other. That's all they had.
Like Big Brother.
Yeah, like Big Brother. So they combine with people that you don't know because that's all you can do. It's no phone, no TV. Y'all have to get creative.
I like those aspects of reality shows. Like, that's why this show is good. That's why Big Brother is entertaining, because you have to do something. You have to get to know each other. And when you get to know each other, you start to see if you really like somebody or not, or if you don't really like that person. And that's when the drama starts to form. And then the drama actually ends up being relevant and it actually makes sense, which is why the shows like Zeus and them, like the baddies and shit, that's why they don't need to have phones. That's why, like, when Bad Girls Club was on TV, that's why it was entertaining, because they didn't have access to phones. You had to sit there and talk to
one phone that people fought over, one computer that people fought over.
Exactly. You had to make conversation and dialogue to make the show entertaining. So I like that.
People were mad when they got left in the house and couldn't go to the club.
Exactly.
Because I want to get out the house.
She said, at least give me a puzzle or something. And I agree. Maybe a game.
Said that they made up games. Somebody said that they tied all their jackets and made like a line and played volleyball with something. I don't know what they played soccer. They had karaoke. So like they were really entertaining themselves. Do you wish that Netflix showed more of that? Because I think we only got like that little sad ass cheer that one of the players did before a game.
Yes and no. If it wasn't as entertaining as it was, I would say yes. But I feel like Netflix showed the show was so entertaining in itself. Like the game aspects that they did show, the games themselves that they showed, and the decisions behind what moves were being made. I feel like they filled the show up with enough content. But if the show got boring, I would like to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they did a good job. If anything, it could have been like B-roll material, like B-roll before we saw them doing chores, or B-roll before we saw somebody talking strategy in the bathroom. Like, if anything, like if they wanted to squeeze that in, sure, but I'm okay without it.
Yeah, me too.
They also said that it was like a trauma bond, especially after Red Light, Green Light in Dalgona, because that got rid of a lot of people. So it's like, we survived. So now we got something in common type thing. That's why people were like really affected or quote unquote overreacting when people went home and certain people stayed. What's they call it? Survivor's remorse. That. And then they were in stressful situations. They got no sleep because they were always on edge about what's coming next, what's going to happen next. They had no sense of time. There was not a clock. It was lights on, daytime, lights out, go to sleep. But you didn't know what time that was that they were making you wake up or go to sleep. And of course, you didn't want to miss anything, a FOMO. True. Little food, and then of course being bonded. That was all stressful situations. What They were always kept on their feet because it was game, dorm challenge, and downtime, but it was never in that same order, so they never knew what was coming.
That's good.
That is good.
Keep 'em on their toes.
I want to get to something that I was very disheartened by. Was very upset when I found this out. They were not shot with paintballs. It's very upset. And like logically, I was like, how did they do that? How is it always right here? Well,
What was it?
they have a vest. It's like a mini vest on, and it has like a little ink thing that explodes from the inside of that vest. They said it doesn't hurt. And they said that you even hear it's like and then it explodes.
So they're probably pressing a button and it comes through the shirt. I'm trying to sit here and think about how they actually.
I don't know.
It looked like it was coming.
They didn't say that somebody pressed a button, but I'm sure it had to be activated somehow.
I'm saying production's probably pressing the button.
Yeah.
And it's coming through their shirt.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here trying to think about how it actually looked on the TV. To me, it looked like it was coming straight at them.
But that's what I mean, because like when you think, I was like, some people when they got shot, they were at angles. I was like, damn, whoever doing this is a sniper. Okay, they're professional. So like I was like, okay, but I really wanted them to be getting shot. I did. I saw the behind the scenes with them putting on the vest before every challenge that required one. I was like,
that's crazy.
Bro. And it was squid ink. So I like what it symbolized, but no. Shoot these.
That's some good editing because they fooled me. I thought for sure I was getting shot at.
Go ahead. Go to the comments real quick. I can't put them up on the board.
Jadavian said no sleep. Oh baby, I'm gonna take me a nap. Cause no, that's the thing. I wonder how that happened. Did they because in Big Brother, in Big Brother they have like, if you watch the feeds, like they have certain times they can sleep, and if they start sleeping, they tell them over the intercom, get up.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that. Or if they napping outside or napping in certain places where they want you to be interacting, they'll tell you cannot sleep out there.
What?
Same thing that happened here. Hell yeah.
Because if I'm bored, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, me too. But they don't want you sleeping all day because, especially recently in these recent seasons where the casting that they have is so boring, you need to be up doing something because we ain't got too much to put in the episodes because y'all too boring anyways. So they make them to the point where you can't just sleep all day. You got to do something because we got to show the film.
Right, that's true. And that's, I guess, when you're sleep deprived, that will make you act irrational. You might get into some arguments, say some things that you wouldn't normally say, as well as when you're hungry, Exactly. So I guess it helps. Real quick, let's talk about what happens after you're eliminated. And after you're eliminated. So some of the interviews were conducted post-elimination. So that's when they got people's backstories and things like that. I thought that would be before they came in, but no, some people's were after they left. Now you want to know my story? I'm about to go home. One thing I did like that I wish Bunham and Murray did for the BGC girls is after production, they had group therapy sessions for the eliminated castmates.
That's good.
And then before the show, you get a psych evaluation before, which is normal. But they also give psych evaluations after, which not a lot of production companies do that. Yeah. So kudos to them for doing that. And then they also do welfare calls when you already at home just to check up on you.
That's what they...
Yeah. So I was like, that's good. That's really good. That's very rare nowadays.
Prioritize your talent's mental health.
Exactly, especially when you're in like a quarantine type situation. I wonder if Big Brother does this. I wonder. But if y'all are, I feel like if you subscribe to me or Grant, you gotta be a BGC or a Zeus type fan. And the girls from BGC, they often relate their experience to being in jail, and that they wish the production company reached out to them and inquired about their mental health, but that was never done. So when you hear the people who were on this show say that and give kudos to the production for doing that, I think that's dope.
That's big.
What else I got? I got two more things, but I feel like I wanted to lead into something.
Black Widow got a comment. Got a
Okay, go ahead. So the real question is, are y'all gonna audition?
That's the second time someone asked. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Let's see. I'm gonna ask Grant. We can ask this question. Let me give him some more tea.
We'll put a pin on this and come back to it later.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask if y'all would audition after all of this, if he would audition after all of this. Okay, so you don't get paid while you're on the show or for your episodes at all. Some competition shows, they pay you, like, it might not be a lot, y'all, maybe like $100 an episode, but they don't pay you at all. Your payment is you get to be on TV, you get to experience this opportunity, and you get the chance to win $4 million. That's your payment plan, okay? Right. And of course, we already talked about this with you won't get your prize money until the entire series has aired. And according to Grant, you said it was in the contract that it's 12 months after shooting. So
a year later.
Exactly. And if it's 12 months after shooting, I think they shot for definitely no more than 2 months. So she probably won't even get
no
that
more than that.
March.
I heard it was like 4 weeks, or at least when you look at that that application information, they say you got to be available for 4 weeks.
Okay, because I was watching that girl with the marbles. I was watching her interview, and she said that she went home 12 days in. So the marbles was week 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's about right. 4 weeks, because that was like episode 6.
Yeah,
the marbles.
I could do it if they. I could do it. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, so let's get into myths and rumors and lawsuits, y'all. Myths, rumors, and lawsuits. All right, myths and rumors. People use lubricated condoms as chapstick because they were not provided with chapstick.
Are you fucking serious?
Think that is a myth or myth or a fact?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Do y'all think that's myth or fact? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Using lubricated, I'm gonna say it's fact because apparently they didn't have much. They didn't have much shit in there anyway, so I'm gonna say it's a fact.
Come on, crowd participation, y'all. Let's
we got
go.
8 people in here. We need 8 comments in regards to what she just asked. So what kind of games and stuff they doing for season 2, or is it the same? Hopefully they change it up. You can't have
we don't know, but I'm pretty sure they might take out red light, green light for a reason that I will share later.
You should, yeah.
Oh no, that is true. They were using condoms as chapstick because they did not receive chapstick until probably day 10, 11, 12. Because that's the Marble girl said that she was still there when they finally got chapstick. She said people's lips were about to fall off their face.
Walk around with ashy lips. Because they was in London too. And then during February, I'm pretty sure it was cold as fuck there.
Yes.
And then your lips cracking and shit. And you on TV.
Yes. So true or false? Do y'all believe that certain competitions were rigged in favor of certain contestants? True or false? Where the hell they got to do? Okay, why y'all answer that? The condoms came from production. They gave them, they were allowed to bring in their hygiene. I think toothbrush, toothpaste, but they gave them toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, and condoms. And the cast members, they said that it was probably just more so on the side of precaution because you're going to be locked down with these people. So if you do something, we want you to be safe. But I don't think that, according to them, the condoms weren't getting used for what they're supposed to be used for. They would have to use those condoms for lip chat.
Okay.
Walk around smell like rubber, bro.
But apparently, damn, what was their names? I don't even know.
Did you pull out your lip chat?
No, I've been had this right. Here. But
you say lip chat and people be like, that's what I thought you did.
No, I put this on before I got on here because you But speaking of the condoms and stuff, because apparently there was a duo on this season that didn't get no airtime that apparently ended up leaving the show together. And then apparently, because Ashley was talking about it, somebody else was involved as well. It was like a trio of like a dude and two girls. I forget who it was. It was some black ones. They weren't shown on the TV, so I don't know.
But they left because they weren't getting airtime?
Oh, they were together. Like, they ended up getting together.
Oh. See,
when
now,
you see
every
the comments
time,
stuff, I'm like,
every interview I watched, they were being like, oh, I don't think so. I don't think we were concentrating on that. And then one boy, he was like, I think so, but I'm not sure. That's their business type thing. So that was 107. He was like, I think so, but I'm not sure. So I'm not going to air their business out. See, I don't know.
Talking about it. She tweets too much, though. I can't find
if you can't go a month without it, you need to relax. You need to have your mind on that money.
But to answer your question, do I think certain people was rigged? The games were rigged for certain people.
I know you do.
And that's the thing. I feel like certain people. That's the thing. I don't know if I feel like it or not. I'm still questioning it. I don't know. I feel like there's a possibility because certain people I feel were needed to last longer than they probably would have. But then again, it's just like that's why I feel like certain games, I feel like you could rig. I feel like with the what was it called? With the hallway where they was jumping and certain tiles would fall underneath. I feel especially if you didn't jump on it immediately and it didn't immediately drop like we found out later on, I feel like that's manipulated. So and then the dice game, that clearly couldn't have been manipulated. I don't think so, because you rolling it.
Right.
Whatever rolls is whatever it is. But I don't know. What you think?
You know, I don't want to think like that. But after watching this video, some contestants did report that they believe the certain games were rigged for certain people because some influencers, I don't know these people, but some influencers, there were obviously a few heavy hitter influencers there. So like when you were like, you know, the show had a good cast, no influencers that wasn't ready to play the game. Granted, they were there to play the game, but they did cast some major influencers. They were probably like overseas because I ain't know nothing. Well, I don't even get on social media like that, so I can't even attest. But they said that some people's ink vests popped on red light, green light, even though they had already crossed the finish line. And production still was like, you out.
What?
Yes.
Nah, I'd have lost my mind.
I would have been pissed.
I'd have went off. Because
they crossed the finish line in enough time, but their ink still exploded. So they were like, you're out. So they feel like it was manipulated to get some more, maybe even meet a quota of how many people that they wanted to leave on that first challenge. Who knows? But one of the major characters that had a major storyline was Leanne, Mama Bear. Multiple players said that they saw her move, and she did not cross the finish line before the time.
In red light, green light.
In red light, green light. So she was supposed to be out.
And that was a big storyline, the mama son thing.
Exactly. And they said that because at that moment, the son was on the sideline crying. His mom is still playing. So all the cameras were on him. Some people jealous. And then when that's why they feel like, okay, this is a storyline we want to keep going. So they rigged it for her. They didn't shoot her or explode her ink, even though she had moved.
Well, everybody else that crossed and didn't have a storyline got exploded and eliminated.
If you're boring, you're going home.
Davian said, I think all the glass was able to fall down. They just choose who dropped.
Yeah, that's what yeah. I hope they didn't do that. But let's look back. Who went home on that episode? I mean, TJ went home.
301 went home.
But aside from that, no major character went home besides him and the son.
He went. Who else went?
TJ and the son. What's that boy name? I don't know his name. I don't know his number. 301, that's his number?
Chick, deaf girl, she went home too. She went a major story.
Y'all saw her ad on Instagram. She got what she wanted, boo.
Okay.
She's a deaf influencer.
Yeah, you're right, because a lot of secondary characters went home on that one, like 221, 23. Yeah, a lot of secondary characters got sent out.
But also, I feel like every game you do have to have at least one person that would just crush your spirit. you
sure.
know. So I don't know. One of the last few things was lawsuits. I'm pretty sure this was the first thing that came out about Squid Game the Challenge. There are multiple lawsuits filed on production because mostly I think they're all from the red light green light game. As previously stated, this was recorded in wintertime in the UK, and they were on in what's it called, airplane hangar or a helicopter hangar, I don't know, but that was the arena big enough to fit 456 people, and so there was no heat insulation, it was nothing. So a lot of people developed hypothermia, some people were seizing, some people had physical injuries because during that game, now here's one of the games that lasted way longer than what they showed on TV. Reportedly,
like what, 8 hours?
It took 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, depending on when you cross, 6 to 8 hours to film red light, green light. And the people had to hold their positions for up to 30 minutes. So when you see the girl who squatted, I wonder how long she lasted.
Damn.
She probably knew, I'm not going to last 30 minutes like this. I'm not going to last.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it took that long because they had to pan, they had to get the aerial view, they had to get the shots, they had to explode all the inks of the people who were moving. So it took way longer than we thought. But now knowing that information, when Grant said that he would drop to the floor every time, I'm thinking that's stupid. But now that I know we gotta be in this position for 30 minutes, I'm going to the ground too.
I'd have been crawling. And Brighton, I was watching one of his interviews and he said he was like shuffling.
Who?
Brighton, 432.
Okay.
He said he was shuffling the whole time, which I think would be smart too, because you're still upright. So if you're trying to stand, you can just stand there. But if you're doing like what she did, crouching down, you in some trouble.
And that's why, because it was so cold, a lot of people had their hands in their pockets. They gave them warmers, like I don't know, like little warmers to hold in their hands before the challenge. But when they started the challenge, they took all that stuff away from them. Wow. So you are in this airplane glider hangar with no heat, no type of insulation, and freezing temperatures, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, with a little tracksuit on, with an Adidas suit on. Like, wow. I probably would have been like, I quit. I hate being cold, y'all. I'm from Texas.
Me too.
Cold to me is 70 degrees. That's cold. Don't let the sun be hiding behind a cloud. It's gonna be freezing. I got the North Face jacket on.
Me too. For real.
Let's see the comments. Oh, I heard that too. Which I heard, we were the red light, green light.
Yeah, with the 8 hour stuff.
Yeah. The last thing I got, I probably should have said red light, green light for the last thing. But another insight to one of the games that we got was Doggona, and it was from Spencer. That's the person who. That's Spencer. Him, the redhead. First off, he said that he was really about to throw up because his anxiety was just through the roof. Given that scenario. But he also revealed that 1/4 of the room was actually competing until their cookie cracked, and then everybody else was just pretending like they were doing it until it was their turn to film, basically. So when we're gonna do 1/4 of the room, we're gonna film y'all, and then y'all compete. When you done, okay, y'all gotta leave, and we're gonna move to the next section of the room.
Now, did they pause the time too?
That I don't know. They probably gave everybody the same amount of time. If I'm just
had to. And I always wondered how they do that, because like if you filming certain people and then you still got other people as well, it's like, how are you getting every single shot, and how many that's the thing I'm trying to figure out, like how many cameras do they have when they're filming certain things. So that makes sense. Right. It makes sense when you think about it, but
they said they had handheld. They had the kind that were, attached to the walls. They had multiple kinds. I personally feel like if you got enough camera people, well, I mean, I guess you probably couldn't have that many camera people in that many people in. So I understand it. I understand it now. But that's all the tea I got. Have y'all seen any tea online or?
Well, You didn't mention it, but for season 2, I saw something that they said they might be bringing some players back for season 1.
I knew it. It's gonna be number 200.
432, Ashley.
I wouldn't want him to come back for
They're
another
gonna bring him back.
I want to see him on a Netflix show for sure.
He is gonna be on one. That Perfect Match show.
Right, you did say that. I think come back. Ashley, they'll be trying to get her out too soon.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
She was the one that retweeted it. She was the one that I saw it on their page.
Oh.
So I can see her coming back. I can see 432 coming back. I can see damn, what was his name?
Well,
the dude what was he? The one that went
Rick,
up.
Gang.
No.
Oh.
What was his name? The one that went up to 302 and was like, when he voted her in that one challenge, when he put her up to go home, and he was like, "What's your number? I'm trying to see what your number is."
Oh, Lorenzo. I love him.
Bring him back. Who else? Cheney. I can see them bringing her back. Characters that I feel like made an impact but didn't get to go as far, I feel like they would come back. Well, Ashley went far, but I can see them bringing her back.
Right. I feel like, because it's 456 people, so I feel like I could see Ashley. I can see Brayton. I can see Rick and that other boy from Gangu Gang.
Yeah. Homeboy, the bald head.
200, because he was the first one to get voted out by actual dorm members. TJ, stay at home, TJ. Stay the fucking home.
198. I can see 198 coming back. The one who got his burger ate, and then the one that answered.
Nah, they ain't gonna bring him back.
You don't think so?
If they bring him back, it'll be because they brought Brayton back. It can't be one without the other. Like, he would not come unless Brayton's coming, type thing.
I can see it. I feel like they're gonna bring him back because his moves and his motives were just stupid, and I feel like you got to bring somebody back that was just like, really, like,
they're gonna give him a second chance to get Brayton out. So if Brayton come, they'll cast him for sure. If you come back, you gotta have a storyline.
Well, he ain't gonna have. Well, yeah, that's why Brayton will have to come back.
Exactly. And 200, just because out of sympathy, he was the first one to go home, and we didn't even get to see him do anything but red light.
It's 200. You keep saying 200. I cannot remember who it is.
He was the first one to get voted home. Remember?
The Middle Eastern guy.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about. Okay.
He was super popular. Everybody cried when he left.
But he didn't really do much.
And it was day 1 or 2. I know, but he was voted out. He was the first one to be voted out by the dorm members. So I feel like from the moment he was voted out, I said he gonna come back for season 2. He got to. I feel like.
Jadavian said, "Bring the mama back."
Who? Oh, Mama. They might bring her back without the son.
She'll come back. I can see her being one to come back.
I feel like they wouldn't bring both of them back. They'll either bring the son because he was quote unquote done wrong, or they'll bring her back.
What's up?
Hey, boo.
All right. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add? Well, it's 12 of y'all in here. Let's promote.
Oh, yes. First, like this video on the way in.
Yes.
You know how you knock before you enter a door?
Hit
the like button before you enter the door.
That's your knock. And if you ain't subscribed, that's your other knock as well. You got to hit it twice. You can't just knock once.
Period. Now, I ask y'all, after all the reviews, after all the behind the scene tea, figured out how they ate, how it was always cold, how in red light, green light, you had to stay frozen for 30 minutes. Knock before you enter the door, okay? Mm-hmm. Would y'all audition for Squid Games 2? Grant?
Why I gotta go first?
Would you audition for Squid Games now knowing what you know?
The thing that I always go back to, I'm like, if I get to the end, it would be worth it because it's $4.56 million. I can suck it up for that. And I'm like, the food portion, that would be a struggle. But then again, I'm like, I feel like I could do it. You just got to be in the right mental headspace.
Yeah.
But then again, that's the thing with these shows too. You can't come into these shows expecting everything to be so great, like the conditions to be so great for them to give you food at all times. Like you dealing with a show. Mm-hmm. And I feel like certain people that come on the show expecting that, you setting your own self up.
Especially if you're on season 1 of a show, which is literally the guinea pig.
Yeah, they trying everything out on you.
Right.
I would shoot. I'm like at a like it's a pendulum swing. I think I'm leaning more towards. I would do it honestly. I would do it. It's $4.56 million. I feel like I would put up with
They say you got better chances of winning the Squid Games than hitting the lottery.
it. Okay.
Let's hop in the chat real quick.
You answer. You answer. Nope. It's your turn. Answer that
Let's
question.
see what's going on
Answer
here.
that question. Answer that question. Gianna said, "I go on the show. Still, I'm thinking about the bag. That's me. It's like 4.56. I can put up with some shit for $4.56 million.
After all my research, because okay, like at first I was going ho. I looked into it. I read the requirements. I was like, okay, where's I get my hair done? Then after my research, I was like, I hate being cold, but they might fix that. I can't not snack, but they might fix that.
For $4.56 million, you can make some accommodations. Get your ass under some covers
Walk around with a blanket
and go on a 4-week diet. You can do that for $4.56 million.
I would do it. And let's go into my predictions for next season. I don't think that they will bring back red light, green light.
That's a big part of the show, though.
It is, but so many people call hypothermia.
Well,
they were seizing. That challenge alone brought multiple lawsuits. So they're either going to tweak it and fix it, or film somewhere else, but or some other time. But I don't know.
Hold on, let's go through these real quick. Gianna would love to see us on there. We'll see.
Have our built-in alliance.
I know.
Yes, please.
This one right here.
Instead of dodgeball.
That is my game. I played that game. Shoot, I remember like field days in elementary school. That's my game. I would win that.
Field days.
That would be fun.
I don't think I'm the best like competitor, but I am very competitive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I might lose at dodgeball, but I'm gonna try my damnedest because I don't want to lose. I'm gonna talk my ish. I would do all of that. I'm gonna do it all.
That will behind it is making you a competitor.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
What other games do y'all think is gonna be on there? Childhood games. They already took. I can't believe they did hands down, thumbs up. I was not expecting that one at all.
Kickball would be fun too, but how would you do that? That would have to be like a later game, and then it's like they would have to have some type of. It can't just be straight kickball. It got to be something else behind it.
It would probably be like the tug of war challenge, like you in line with random people type ish. I don't know.
They're gonna get creative though. I feel like with them having a year in between, I feel like that gives them enough time to figure out what type of games they want to do. If they're gonna bring certain games back, how to tweak it and make it a little bit different.
Right, because I can't think of.
They know bringing games back.
What if they put Uno?
Or spade.
We're gonna start fighting now.
Dude, it's gonna get real up in there. It's gonna get real.
Instead of marbles, you gotta play Uno.
with certain rules.
Exactly, because everybody play differently. I know I play differently. I know I play because you can't win off no draw 2, draw 4. You can't over here. You can't win off of that.
You're not stacking shit. No.
I'm a stacker though. I'm a stacker.
No, I ain't stacking nothing.
It make it fun.
I'm telling you, that'd be funny though.
That would be funny.
They're gonna have to get back in it. Well, I'm pretty sure I know they got some good stuff going on. If they already renewed season 2, they already got everything mapped out. They probably know what they're about to do.
Yeah, or have an idea.
Life Monopoly, that would be fun.
I've played Monopoly one time, but when I did play, I won. I sent my mama into bankruptcy.
Twister.
Ooh.
That's interesting. What else? I'm trying to think of what other games.
I know, right?
Twister.
Oh, you remember? Oh, I mean, I guess you remember Skip It. Skip it. It was like around your ankle, and you had to like jump on the. No, okay.
It like
yeah. Am I showing my age?
I'm trying to figure out how that would be good for it. What?
Like a big Skip It, like a on some wipeout shit. Like you gotta jump every time it come around and go up higher and higher and higher type shit. Maybe.
They gonna have to figure it out.
I don't know. But I know they bring back the bridge challenge. You better drop them motherfuckers through that flow. Period.
And they
Unless
gotta
it's me.
they
If
gotta
I'm
put
on this season, don't drop me through the flow.
put a harness on them or something. Have a trampoline down there.
Yeah. I don't know. Make it fun.
Hide and seek. Hide and seek would be fun.
Ooh.
That would be fun. I don't know how it would work either, but that would be fun because
They'll
that
figure it out.
and then they would have to
Like a laser tag.
certain would they sector off certain places in that set for them to hide, or could they only hide in the dorm, or could they hide? That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's like a laser tag scenario. That would be cool.
Sharks,
Nemo. I ain't never heard of that.
either.
Let me Google sharks and Nemo.
Sharks and Nemos. You have to explain that, Raffleson, because I ain't never played that before. Sharks and Nemos. Let me see. I'm trying to think of what other games.
I know, like we ain't never been kids before.
Did you play Red Rover growing up?
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's kind of like the trust challenge, like the alliance challenge.
Yep. Sharks and Minnows, maybe. I feel like I've heard of Sharks and Minnows, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I said Nemo.
Well, they said Nemos. They probably
meant. Okay. I'm about to say, I'm so goofy. How to play. Identify who will be the sharks, either a player or the leader. The sharks stand in the middle of the play area and says, fishy, fishy, come
out and play. And all minnows will begin walking across the play area. Be sure all players know minnows will run to the other side when the sharks say shark attack. Remind all players to be aware of their surroundings so that they do not run into each other. Remind players that all taggers will use light touch tags.
Yeah. If a minnow is tagged, it becomes a shark. When there's only one or two minnows left, they become sharks in the next round. So how do you win?
I don't know. Flag football would be fun too.
Oh my Lord.
But then they get physical because somebody wanting to tackle. Capture the flag. I feel like I've heard that before. Or put something in the middle and make them all charge at it. I don't know. We'd have to think about that. All right. You ready? Well, we've been on here almost an hour and a half.
Played this Sharks and Minnows. Yeah, that's something new to me. I ain't never had that. All right, y'all. Y'all got any more comments, questions, or concerns? Not concerns. Any comments or questions that y'all want to drop down in the chat before we head off for the evening?
Yes.
Afternoonish.
Power minute or two. 2 minutes. Drop them questions in the chat. What y'all want to ask?
What were y'all thoughts on the show? I know some of y'all said y'all would audition Squid Games casting. I believe that's what it said.
Squid, yeah. .com.
60 minutes.
60 seconds.
That's what I meant. Don't send it on 60 minutes. They gonna throw that shit in the trash.
They said, please make it 1 minute. You got 1 minute to think of how you're gonna sell yourself in a minute.
60 seconds. Elevator pitch it. That's what you gotta do.
Dead ass.
And a headshot.
Crazy. You gonna do it?
I'll do it. I've auditioned for Family Feud, so why not?
For a TV show. Look, are y'all auditioning or no?
Oh, that's the question.
I'll answer your question.
That's the question everybody asking.
I'll answer your question. We already done talked about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
We'll audition.
We'll do it. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's 456 players, so we should get on there, right?
Yeah.
Like we're entertaining enough. It makes sense for somebody. We'll see.
Maybe video or our videos will fall into the right hands, and they'd be like,
I know. They go looking.
Let's put TikTokers on to work.
If they go scoping us out, they can come look over here and see how we entertain y'all on a weekly basis. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll see what happens.
And if y'all do it, y'all stay in contact. I know my Instagram is the Movie Bae on IG.
And
so y'all let me know.
The literal @ for my YouTube channel, Just GT. But I think that's it. We're gonna wrap it up. Y'all gonna see me later on tonight for baddies. Hopefully them stupid bitches do not piss me off, so I don't have to yell at the damn camera. And you'll see Movie Bae tomorrow or Tuesday, whenever she decides she want to drop.
Whenever I feel like indulging in the ratchery.
But thumbs up the video before y'all click off if you have not already. Subscribe if you have not already to both of our pages because we're streaming from both of our pages. We don't know which one of y'all is watching which video, but click on the other one. And I think that's it. You want anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Nope. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're part of the rewatch gang, still drop comments down below. Period. Timestamp it so I can go back to see what we was talking about too.
We'll come back for season 2. That's next year, and we'll see if we're reviewing the show with us.
If we're reviewing the show, or if we're reviewing the show from our perspective of being on it, we'll see.
Peace.
Bye.